Hello, 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 hello. This is Controlled Pairs with Controlled Pairs Gaming, and today we are playing some Arma 3. Arma 3 is free to play this weekend on Steam, and it's also on sale for $30. It's usually $50, so this is a great time to tackle an outstanding military simulator. I want this video to serve as a guide to Arma 3, not necessarily as a how-to video, but as a tool that will help brand new players get started, manage their expectations, and get excited and not become completely overwhelmed the first time they boot up this outstanding game. I'll do this by answering a few frequently asked questions. Those questions are, what is Arma 3? What can I expect from the game? Is the game right for me? And how do I get started? In the background, you're watching some footage I captured earlier today while assaulting a compound in player versus player mode called Wasteland, but more on that later. So to our first question, what is Arma 3? Well, I have to confess that I'm a biased Arma 3 player. This is the first major military simulator that I got involved with. Actually, I got involved with the developer of Arma 3, Bohemia Interactive, way back when. I started playing with these guys in a game called Operation Flashpoint. That had several expansions and versions to it. Finally, it branched off into Operation Flashpoint and Arma. The Arma series, I played both the original Arma and Arma 2, and eventually Arma 3. Arma 3 is actually what inspired me to create this YouTube channel, and if you look back at some of my original videos, you'll see a series called Arma 3 Spray and Pray, which is something I definitely recommend checking out because it's got some outstanding information on what an Arma 3 firefight and multiplayer is like. So, having said that I am biased, what is Arma 3? Well, it's the most realistic military simulator available to the public, period. It's so realistic, in fact, that the developers, Bohemia Interactive, have been contracted by the US government to produce a military simulator called VBS 2.0, that is Virtual Battle Simulator. This is something that soldiers in the US Army and Marine Corps actually use to train on ground combat when they're not out in the field. What else is Arma 3? Well, it gives you outstanding single-player modes, multiplayer modes, a devoted community and mods, scenarios which are like single challenge missions, as well as the most robust mission editor I've ever seen in any game, period.
Greetings, gentlemen.
So, what can you expect from the game? Moving on to our second question. You should expect a thriving and fanatically loyal community, as you see me interacting with these two guys here, having just shot up this truck.
These two seem to have had a bad day.
So, additionally, you should expect the most authentic action available in a shooter, period. And what I mean by that is, you have ridiculous encounters throughout the game. Right now you're watching me play a mode called Wasteland in the multiplayer mode. And when I say authentic action, I mean it is not canalized, you're not on the tracks at all. Bohemia Interactive completely takes you off the rails and allows you to explore this massive sandbox environment to see what happens and how it could happen. In the mode that I'm playing right now, you spawn into this crazy environment with nothing but a handgun and your wits. You have to explore and scrounge for materials that will allow you to maintain your success. You have to eat food to stay alive. You have to drink water to stay hydrated. You have to scrounge for ammunition and weapons. All the while, there's other players in a server up to the size of 150 or 200 players. And you end up in these really authentic encounters, like the one you're witnessing right now, where I'm assaulting this compound with 4 or 5 other teammates. And it's being defended by a group of about 4 or 5 enemies. And a lot of the engagements take place at range, just like you would expect in real life. And it's one of those games that, whenever you get shot at and you hear the whiz or a crack of a bullet, it actually gets your heart pumping. And every PvP encounter you have, every firefight that you get into, is a unique experience that's going to get the blood pumping and make you really enjoy it. You can also expect unparalleled realism. Everything from your player becoming tired after running an extended period of time, or realistic ballistics that have actual bullet drop and terminal velocity, different calibers that penetrate different materials and continue on afterwards after ricocheting or reducing their velocity. You can expect outstanding vehicles. Everything from a simple bicycle all the way up to fighter jets can be piloted by players in this game. To our third question, is the game right for me? Well, it may or may not be. That's a tough question. In particular, this game requires patience from a gamer. If you like simulators, then you're going to love this game. But it is a simulator to its core. It's not a Call of Duty or a Battlefield where you can just pick it up and you're going to have an outstanding time immediately. It requires incredible patience. You're going to have to move over long distances before seeing any action. You could jump into a multiplayer game and actually walk in this virtual world for 2 or 3 kilometers and not see a single soul. But that said, when you finally do encounter somebody, the experience is so authentic and exciting that it makes the entire thing worthwhile. Well, what else do you have to appreciate this game and determine if the game is right for you? You're going to have an appreciation for simulation and realism. Every bolt gun you pick up isn't going to be a laser gun that allows you to fire 500 meters flawlessly every time you pull the trigger and have remarkable accuracy. There's no such thing as no-scope headshots and ridiculous kill streaks. Instead, you need to understand bullet ballistics. You need an appreciation for different weapon systems. You'll have to be able to dial in your sights to certain ranges for different engagements. You'll have to be able to utilize cover and concealment and fire and maneuver in order to stay alive and succeed in this game. It's also a game that doesn't hold your hand. While recently there has been the implementation of a tutorial system in a boot camp, it's kind of rough whenever you first start off. It's completely overwhelming. There's so many key bindings that you need to understand to be successful. The first time you jump in a helicopter, you are going to crash it. It's not a if you're going to crash it or maybe you'll pull it off. There is a 100% chance that you are going to crash that thing. And that said, you will learn from every experience you have. So as long as you can respect a game that doesn't hold your hand and learn from every experience that you have, you're going to appreciate this game. And what else do you need? Well, you need a gaming rig. You're not going to be able to just plug in your dad's laptop, install Arma 3, and have a good time. You're going to need a processor that can stand up for itself and a graphics card that wasn't, $50 2 years ago. For system specifications, go to Steam and look at them, but I would recommend exceeding the minimum specs significantly. On to our fourth question. How do I get started? Well, Arma 3 is free on Steam this weekend, so if you're watching this video and it's only been out for 48 hours, go to Steam right now and download that game. Play it for a few hours, play it for a full day, but definitely if you decide to buy, do so before the sale runs out. It's $30 right now, it's usually $50. Take advantage of it if you're enjoying what you're playing. The first time you boot up the game, you're going to see several options. The first thing you should do is go to the boot camp. The boot camp is incredibly basic. It's going to teach you how to move around the environment, how to get over obstacles, how to operate basic weapon systems. But it's very important because this isn't a Call of Duty style game where you can just, press A to jump and sprint everywhere and just have an immediate grasp on the environment around you. It's incredibly complex, and it's important that you get all of those things down. After that, run over to the VR trainer and load up some different tutorials. The VR trainer allows you to explore with different weapon systems, different vehicles, different equipment, and truly get out in the game. You can also explore the field manuals and the community guides to learn a little bit more. After that, you have several options: single player, scenarios, and multiplayer. The single player campaign is a good place to start because it's the first time you'll experience combat and start getting shot at. It'll walk you through some pretty complicated scenarios, but none that will completely overwhelm you. It has a pretty good story too, so I highly recommend the single player. Then check out some scenarios. Scenarios are offered by Bohemia Interactive and also by the community. So if you like flying helicopters, you can download an attack helicopter run. If you want to do some sort of crazy Navy SEAL infiltration and then storm the beach and shoot guys with silencers and cut people up with daggers at close range, that's out there too. So check out the scenarios. And finally, where the most fun lies in Arma 3 is in the multiplayer modes. Even if you don't have friends that are members of this community, you will absolutely love jumping into some multiplayer games if you have the patience and appreciation of the realism. I recommend Wasteland, which is the game mode you're seeing right now. In Wasteland, you're going to spawn in with virtually nothing to your name. A handgun, maybe a backpack, and that's about it. You'll have a magazine of ammo, and you'll be forced to find food, water, equipment, weapons, and ammunition. There's 3 factions in Wasteland. There's a blue faction, a red faction, and a green faction. The blue and the red factions are good guys, bad guys, blue for Op 4. And the green faction is solo, so if you're a lone wolf type, jump into the green faction and just go roam by yourself and see what kind of trouble you can get in. But if you're looking for an outstanding team experience, pick the blue team or the red team and hook up your mic and start talking to the guys around you. It's a free weekend, so there's going to be some people who are a little bit shy, but the guys who are members of the community are going to help you out, and you're going to have a great time enjoying some truly authentic military simulator combat type scenarios. So what you're witnessing right now is the conclusion of an assault on a compound, an unsuccessful assault on a compound in that wasteland mode. But as you can see, we managed to kill 3 or 4 unconfirmed kills of the enemy. They also killed a few of our guys, but the experience is so authentic. Every whiz and crack of a bullet gets your blood pumping. Every explosion makes you dive for cover. And you're all the while interacting with the people around you in a way that makes the game truly unique. So all that being said, what can I say about Arma 3? I can say it's free this weekend, so there's nothing for you to lose by going and downloading it and enjoying it for the weekend. If you like it, buy it. If not, don't worry about it. But if you do choose to download the game this weekend and you're enjoying it, shoot me a message on YouTube. I'll throw you my gamer tag in Steam, and I look forward to linking up and playing with you. That being said, if you stay tuned for this entire video, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it beneficial and helpful in some way. And until next time,
They're sniping on the
this
hill
is
up to your
Controlled
left.
Pairs, signing off.